Welcome back to the second part of the video. So we're done with question number 5. We'll continue with question number 6. So the idea is to try to finish as many questions as possible so that you'll be up and about for the examination, right? So let's look at question number 6. Write a function that receives two string arguments when checks whether they are of same length strings or not. It should return true if the length is equal. Otherwise, it should return false. Okay. So just go back and change into the multiple statements into a comment. Okay. Okay. So it should be pretty simple. Now let's say the name of the function is, say, def, and then compare str, okay? And then we'll have two parameters, namely s1 and s2, okay? S2, and then you can perhaps do this using a single liner. You're just comparing whether the length of the two strings are equal or not. Alright, so instead of, you can use if statement and else to do the needful, but a single liner can can work much better. It will be a better idea. So perhaps you can do it like this: return and then a length of s1, okay, and then equal to the length of s2. Remember, this is an equality operator. It checks whether the value on the left hand side is equal to the value on the right hand side. So the value that will be returned by this operator will either be true or it will be false. Yes, you can do the same thing using if condition if to check whether this is equal to this and then return true, but you don't have to do that, because the very result of the relational operator is either true or false. Okay, so if the length of the string s1 is equal to the length of s2, the result of this operation will either be true or false. Okay, so once the comparison is done, either the Boolean value of true is returned or the Boolean value of false is returned. Okay. Now let's say you have A is equal to Tibet, and then you have B is equal to India, right? And then we'll use the print statement and then call the function. The name of the function is compare, alright? And then str sends two arguments of A and B. And then let's close the bracket one more time, and then we just run this, okay? What happened? I think I put just 2-minute bracket. What happened? Just go this little down. Okay, I've left a gap here. I'm so sorry, you're not supposed to leave a gap. And then we'll run the program again. There you go, you have the answer as true. Alright? So, okay, let's change the string values. Let's say I have save Tibet. Sorry, just have save Tibet, right? And then save it. Now this time the value of s1 will be save Tibet, the value of s2 will be India, right? So the length of s1 is like 9, the length of s2 is 5. So 9 is equal to 5, the result will be false. So the false will be returned and replace the function call, and this is how the false value will be printed, right? So we just check this, we will get the Boolean answer as false, okay? But I'm saying this again, you can do it with the usual style of writing the if followed by the condition, right? Okay, now let's go to the next question, question number 7. Question number 7 is, write a function that takes a number n and then returns randomly generated number. Okay, I need to receive the value for n and then returns a randomly generated number having exactly n digits. Read the question properly. Not starting with 0. This is the exception. If the value of n is 2, then the function can randomly return a number between 10 to 99. Since the value of n is 2, the number of digits should be 2. So 10 is the minimum value, and then 99 is the maximum value, right? But for 0, 7, 0 to etc. are not valid 2-digit numbers. So it cannot start from 0. If the value of n is 3, then the randomly generated number should be from 100. 100 is the lowest 3-digit number, and then 999 is the highest 3-digit number. So I need to randomly generate a number between these two. Okay, so the number of digits will be represented by the value of n. I hope you got the question right. Now let's try to write the program, right? And leave some gap. How do I go up? Oops, I'm sorry. Okay. Question number 7, alright? So again, you will have def here. The name of the function, let's say, is ran, and then I need to receive the value for n. Okay, like I said, if the value of n is 2, the randomly generated number should be from 10 to 99. For that, we'll have to first import a module called random. Random is a function which is defined in the random module. We have learned this already in the chapter of Python libraries, right? So let's import the module of random, okay? And then you have the name of the function. Now I need to first find out the smallest number and then the largest number. And once I manage to find the first number and the last number, I can use it as an argument in the function of random. And thereby, I'll be able to generate the random number, right? So how do I generate the x, or the first value is, how about writing int, okay? And then you have 9 as a string. I need to, now let's say if the value of n is 2, I need to have the value of x as 10 and y as 99. 10 will be the smallest and 99 will be the largest, right? So how about writing this multiplied by n minus 1, okay? And then I add 1 to it, right? So we'll just try to evaluate this. Let's say the value of n is how much? It is 2, okay? N minus 1 is how much? It is 2 minus 1 is 1. 9 multiplied by 1. Since 9 is a string, this will not be multiplication operator, rather it will be replication operator. So you have n minus 1 is how much? 2 minus 1 is 1. 9 is being replicated just once. This 9 will be converted to integer. Integer 9 will be added to 1, and that will give us the value of 10. So I get the first limit, or the lower limit, right? Now the question is, how do I get the next one? Okay, y is equal to int. This needs to be replicated how many times? N times. If the value of n is 2, 9 has to be replicated twice so that I get 99. So multiplied by n. It has to be replication operator. Okay, so if the value of n is 2, 9 will appear 2 times, it will be 99, but this 99 is in the form of string, it will be converted to integer, right? So you will get 99, right? So once I get the x value of 10 and y value of 99, all I need to do is use these two arguments in the built-in function of random, right? So either I can print here or I can return. So I'll just write here return. This is the name of the module and this is the name of the function, right? And then oh, I'm sorry, I need to use rand int. Okay, rand int is the function which randomly generates the integer numbers between a and b or x and y, but both are inclusive, right? So I'll just write x and y. Okay, just get rid of this. Just get rid of this. All right. Now let's call the function and check whether we get the right output or not. So just put this a little up. Okay, this is better. Okay. Say n is equal to 2 and then print. Let's call the function ran and then I sent n. Right? So let's save it and then let's check whether it's producing the correct output or not. Okay, I get here 79. So 79 is the randomly generated numbers between 10 and 99. Why 10 and 99? Because 10 has 2 digits, 99 has again 2 digits. The reason is the value of n is 2. Now let's say if I change the value of n to 3. If I change the value of n to 3, then the randomly generated number should have how many digits? It should have 3 digits, right? So n goes up. 3 minus 1 will be 2. 9 will be replicated 2 times. This will be then converted to integer 99. Integer 99 plus 1 is 100. So you get the value of x as 100. Okay? And then you have the value of n is 3. 9 will be replicated twice, 3 times. So it will be then converted to 999 will be assigned to y, and then you have 2 arguments values lined up as 100, 999, right? So let's save and run it. You have 827. So if you run this again, most probably you should get a different number, 782, right? So this is how you write a program for the question number 6. It's simple, 6 to 7, I'm not very sure. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. The next question is, where are we? I can't see this. Okay, I think it's better if I use this. Okay, we are done with question number 7. Okay, just change this. Then come a little down, and then you have this. Okay, now the question number 8 is, what does it say? Write a function that takes 2 numbers and returns the number that has minimum 1 digit. For example, if numbers passed are 491, 278, then the function will return 491 because it has got minimum 1 digit out of 2 given numbers. So you have 2 numbers, the number with the lower value of 1 digit, should be returned. Okay, so out of these 2 numbers, 491 should be the one which is to be returned, because at 1 unit, it has 1 here and then it has 8 here. So whichever is lower, that particular number should be returned, right? So again, you can just it's easy. So let's say you have def and then say 1 digit. So let's say this is the name of the function, and then you have a and b. And the trick is, how do you fetch the last digit? If you apply modulus 10, if you divide a number by 10, the remainder will always be the last digit. Okay, we have learned this in class 11 already. If you divide this by 10, the remainder will be the last number, which is 1. If you divide this by 10, the remainder will be the last digit, which is 8. So this is how you do the comparison, right? So if a modulus 10 is less than b modulus 10, okay? So a modulus 10, you'll get 1 here, and then b modulus 10, 278, you will get 8. If it's less than, if the condition is true, then you should be returning, the very number itself, right? And then otherwise, perhaps you can just do it like this, okay? Or if you want to, you never know, they could be equal also. right? So perhaps, if you have one more condition, if B modulus 10 is less than A modulus 10. However, if this condition is true, then you have to return B, right? Else, you're just left with one option. They could be equal. If they are equal, perhaps you can say return none. Okay? So this is how you do it. And then say A is equal to how much? It is 491. And then, sorry. Okay, let's just pull this back and then change it to. Okay, A is equal to 481, and then B is equal to how much? 278. And then let's call the function, okay? Print, and then you have one digit is the name of the function, and I sent A and B. Remember, this A and B and this A and B are different. These are global variables and these are local variables. Very important, right? So when I run this, I should get the answer as 481, right? So it's quite simple. Now the next question is, just come down here. Okay, what do we have next? The next question is, write a program that generates a series using a function which takes first and the last values of the series. First value and the last value of the series, and then generates 4 terms that are equidistant. It's almost the same as the earlier question, but it's a little different. I hope you got the question right. This time you will have the first value and the last value. And then the question says you need to generate 4 terms. 4 terms means if the first value is 1 and if the last value is 7, I should have total elements, total number of elements as 4. So that's what the question says, 4 terms, right? So the logic behind this program is, if you are talking about 4 terms, how many gaps do you see in between? Say if you have 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, how many gaps do you have? You have gap 1, gap 2, and then you have gap 3. The logic is very simple. So which means I need to divide whole thing by 3, because I have to divide the entire range into 3 parts. Part 1, part 2, and then part 3. If I have 3 gaps on 3 parts, I'll end up with how many elements? 4 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Let's repeat this real quick. First and the last value is given, right? So you have this range. And then the question says you need to generate how many terms? 4 terms. 4 terms means you will end up with 1, 3, 5, 7. How many gaps in between? 1, 2, 3. How many parts? 1, 2, 3. So if you need 3 parts, the whole range should be divided by 3. If you divide the whole range by 3, you will get the exact gap. Okay? And then just keep adding the gap to generate the individual elements, right? So let's start. Okay, how do you start is you have again the def, and then now this time the name of the function is, let's say, equidistant. Now say this is the name of the function, right? It should be equi, right? All right. Okay, so this is the name of the function. Now this time there are 2 arguments, right? The start and then you have the end. Alright? So let's say the value of start is 1, the value of end is 7. So how do I get the gap is? Gap is equal to end minus start, okay? And then I divide it by 3. 4 elements will have 3 gaps or 3 intervals, right? Hence, you need to divide this by 3. Once you get the logic, then it becomes very, very simple, right? So in this case, say, the starting value is 1 and the end value is 7. 7 minus 1 is how much? 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So look at the gaps here. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay? So 7 minus 1 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 2 becomes the value of gap. Now once I get this, then it's pretty simple, right? Let's prepare the series in the form of list, right? So the first will always be the start, okay? And then you will have start plus the gap, okay? Now the next will be start plus 2 multiplied by gap, okay? This is pretty much the same as one of the earlier questions. And then finally, you have start plus 3 multiplied by gap. Okay, you have the square bracket like this. That's it, I guess. Okay, so and then come a little down the main part of the program. I need to set the value of start and end, right? Say start is equal to 1 and then end is equal to 7. Okay, that's it, right? And then let's say print, let's call the function of equidistant, and then send the values of start and end. Okay, I guess we are done, and then let's print it. Let's say, just check. Okay, there you go. You have 1, 3, 5, and 7. Okay, so this is how you get the answer, right? So it's not that difficult. You just have to grab the very logic behind it, the very heart of the program. All you need to remember is, when I subtract start from end, I'll get the range, and then if I divide this by 3, I'll get 3 gaps. 3 gaps, will have 4 elements of the series. Okay, right. Now let's move on to the last question. The last question is, I can see this. This is the big problem. Okay. The last question is, we'll just change this to the comments first. Okay. Well, in fact, the second last question. Write a function that receives a list of numbers into double the odd values and half the even values. Okay, this should be pretty simple. List of numbers, it should receive a list of numbers and to double the odd values and half the even values, right? So you're talking about making permanent change. Be careful. Okay, so we'll do this real quick. Let's say def, and then you have even odd, and then let's receive the list as li. And then it says the odd values or the odd numbers should be doubled, the even numbers should be halved. Okay, so for val in li, right? So the values, it will pick up, the individual elements of the list, and then check. We need to check whether that particular number is even or odd. Okay, or perhaps I could do it a little differently, or instead of picking this up, I can use the index. I think it's a little better. In range, I think this is a little better. Say 0, comma, and then you have length of list. Okay, I think this is a little easier, right? So it will pick up the index value of the individual elements of the list for in 0, comma, length of list. Okay, so once you have this, I got the number of brackets correct, and now check whether it's even or odd. You know how to check, right? So if it's odd number, then I need to double it, right? So if li of I, the starting value of I will be 0. So li of 0 means it will refer to the first element of the list, right? If upon divided by 2, if the remainder is 1, then this particular number is an odd number. If it's an odd number, then I should make a permanent change. I need to double it, right? So how do I double it is, Li of I is equal to Li of I and then multiplied by 2. Very simple, okay? If it's not odd, then it has to be even, right? So I'll just write else here. If it's not, then, sorry, this has to be big L. Okay, this is big L. Okay, if it's not even, then it has to be odd. In which case, I need to halve it, right? So L of I divided by 2. Okay, that's pretty much. And then say Control S, I'll just save it. And then let's print it. Okay, let's not return for a change. Print, and then you have Li. Okay, now let's have the list. List is equal to, let's say you have some numbers like 2, 3, 5, 4, 8. Oops, sorry. Okay, I have a list like this, and then, right. Okay, and then let's call the function. The name of the function is even, odd, and then I sent the list here, right? All right, so the even numbers should be halved and the odd numbers should be doubled, right? So let's run the program and check. Okay, you have here, let's see whether it's correct or not. Since 2 is an even number, it's halved. Since 3 is odd number, it's doubled. 5, it's doubled. 4 is halved, and then again 8 is halved. HALEVE, right? So this is how you write the program for question number 10. Okay, and then perhaps question number 11 is almost the same. Perhaps you can try yourself. We'll just read the question. Okay. I'm a little worried the length of the video is becoming just too long or lengthy. Write the definition function reverse in Python to display the elements in the reverse order. Okay, such that displayed element is twice of the original element. Now this should be pretty easy. Again, you will have a list and then call the function of reverse. Call the function of reverse. Now this time you need to take note of one important thing. You're not supposed to make a permanent changes, unlike the earlier question. It says display the elements in a reverse order. So you just have to display or print. So first things first, you'll have def and the name of the function of reverse, and then using the string slice, perhaps if you could do it like this, let's say str1, and then string slicing means it has to be printed in a reverse order, right? It has to be printed in a reverse order. I think it's better if I do it because this question looks a little new. Okay, so we'll just leave some gap. Let's go up. Okay, one more time. Okay, let's say you have def. It'll take only 2 minutes. Def, the name of the function is reverse. Alright? Okay, and then you will have the list of, say, li. Okay, li. Alright. Okay, now the question is, I need to print the list elements in a reverse order such that each displayed element is twice of the original element. Okay, so what you do is for I in range, okay, we'll use this for I in range, and then you have I need to set the starting value and the last value. Okay, but the important thing to be noted is it has to be printed in a reverse order, right? So I'll start from the last, and then I'll start from the last and then I'll finish at the start. Okay, so you will have length of li, right? So the length of li will be the last one, but say if it's Tibet, okay, say if it's Tibetan, look at the value of length of li. Length will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? But you don't have index value of length of li, which is 7. Okay, the index value starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so since since I'm printing the reverse order, the index value of the last character is not length of li, because the length of li is 7. So it has to be minus 1. Okay, so when I say length of li minus 1, which means your point, the value is 7 minus 1 is 6. You're pointing to the last character. Okay, from the last character to the first. The first one cannot be 0, because remember this value is ignored. So if I just write here 0, coming backward, t will not be included. So if I write minus 1, then 0th index character will be considered, right? And then you have the step value should be minus 1. This is very, very important, right? So for I in range, okay, so the first value of I will be 6. And then the next value of I will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, right? So when I do it, when I print it, not only it has to be printed, it has to be printed with a change, and the change is it should be the twice of the original element, right? So print the name of the list is li. Li of I should be multiplied by 2. Okay, it has to be printed as the twice of the original element, right? So that's it, I guess. So we'll just write the main part of the program. So I change this to, oh, sorry. Okay, I need to change this to the comments, right? Okay, there you go. Let's have li, say li1 is equal to, let's have something like this, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, right? And then, okay, let's call the function. Let's call the function, the name of the function is reverse, okay? And then I set li1 and then save it, right? So if I run this, okay, I think I made a mistake with regard to the bracket. Okay, somewhere down there. Okay, so you have the correct answers as 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2. Okay, I hope you have understood the program, right? Just look at this, we'll do this real quick. The whole thing is sent to li. I will pick up the first value of 6. Length of li is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But 6 minus 1 is 5. So the value of I will be 5 to start with. Okay, so li of 5 means 6. 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. And then minus 1 will get the cursor in a backward position. So which means earlier I started with a value of 5, remember? So it will now change to 4. Okay, so li of 4 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 4 will be the next one to be printed. Of course, having multiplied by 2. So with this, I have come to the complete end of the chapter of the working with functions. Last week, I touched upon the questions based on predicting the output and fixing the error. And then today, I completed like 11 questions. So if you could understand all the 11 questions properly, I don't see any reason why you will not be able to score complete marks, from the questions, from this chapter of working with functions. And then in the next video lesson, we'll start with the second part of your curriculum. Perhaps, that will be to do with the database. Okay, so please study hard and stay safe. Thank you.